Mr. Chairperson, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. First, let me start with the expression of our deep appreciation and gratitude to the Austrian chairmanship for bringing us all together to this important setting here in Vienna, the very seat of our organization. I believe the spirit of Vienna will guide us through our work these 2 days. Here I also wish to reaffirm that Mongolia is committed to fostering effective cooperation with the OSCE, which is an important regional organization for us to continue pursuing a peaceful and multi-pillared foreign policy of the country. I also want to congratulate the new Secretary General and other heads of institutions of the OSCE on their appointments and wish them every success in their noble endeavors. Mr. Chairperson, 5 years have elapsed since Mongolia became the 57th participating state of the OSCE. It is certainly a short span of time vis-à-vis the entire OSCE history, but it has been a significant period for Mongolia to witness the erosion of the consensus in Europe on how security and cooperation should be realized. We also observed with concern how the contradictory perception of events among the OSCE participating states have undermined the idea of the indivisibility of security, which results have been reflected throughout the crisis in and around Ukraine. This description in the final report of the panel of eminent persons on the European security as a common project published a couple of years ago is reflective of the troublesome new realities of today. In addition, the OSCE Ministerial Council had failed to agree on a joint communique since 2002. This clearly speaks of the challenges we all face in this organization. Mr. Chairperson, it is alarming that the OSCE region continues to face the threats of terrorism. Being a party to all international instruments against terrorism, Mongolia strongly condemns and attaches utmost importance to suppressing terrorism in all its forms and manifestations. In countering terrorism, we emphasize the importance of effective interagency cooperation, including the collaboration between law enforcement and intelligence agencies, the exchange of information, and good practices at international, regional, and national levels. Identifying and addressing the root causes of radicalization of young people is also important. Educating and empowering our future generation remains an essential task. We condemn and support the OSCE work in this regard. Mongolia organized a national seminar, first of its kind, on countering violent extremism and radicalization that led to terrorism in July this year in Ulaanbaatar, jointly and with direct assistance from the OSCE. This seminar has been valuable in terms of raising awareness and developing a preventive tool, which my government has already embarked on. I'm also pleased to note that Mongolia is working closely with a number of countries, including our immediate neighbors, Russia and China, in combating terrorism. Mr. Chairperson, Mongolia highly values the OSCE's comprehensive approach to security. In this context, we see full merit in promoting economic linkages and connectivity in the OSCE area. Being a landlocked developing country, Mongolia attaches a particular importance to expanding its economic cooperation with other countries. The United Nations multilateral agreement on the establishment of an international think tank for landlocked developing countries came into force on the 6th of October this year. On behalf of the government of Mongolia, I express my profound appreciation to those OSCE participating states, namely Armenia, the Kyrgyz Republic, and Tajikistan for their expeditious ratification of this important agreement that makes now the international think tank's operation possible. The occurrence of natural disasters across the globe has become more frequent and their consequences even more disastrous. There is a growing need for better national and local readiness and a stronger regional and international cooperation. As part of this effort, Mongolia is hosting an Asian Ministerial Conference in July 2018 to effectively implement the Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction. Fostering understanding and relationship between peoples and citizens is of crucial importance as well. The role and contribution of the OSCE Parliamentary Assembly as representatives of their peoples is an asset which we should put in full use. Taking this opportunity, I wish to reaffirm that Mongolia welcomes the decision of the European Union to open its representative office in Ulaanbaatar. We believe this important step will allow us to enhance our dialogue and cooperation and further contribute to strengthening our partnership and cooperation. We also take note with regret of the EU's inclusion of Mongolia in its first ever tax haven blacklist. We view this move of the EU as a premature and not well substantiated. Less than 30 years of Mongolia's experience in democracy and open economy should not be penalized without sufficiently early warning, an expression that is so often used within the walls of the OSCE and beyond. In closing, I wish to once again express our appreciation to Minister Kurz and the Austrian chairmanship for their excellent leadership throughout this year. I would like also to wish every success to the incoming Italian chairmanship and assure them our full support and cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your statement. I now